Alright everyone, willkommen. It's Let's Play Panzer General. I'm the mysterious JG. When last you joined me, when last we marched together for the fatherland, we won in France, but I took too long. We got a minor victory. I don't really want to take the time to show you any kind of proof. Just take my word for it. I went back I just loaded a different save. It was a couple turns back, and won again. You want to know how many turns short we were of getting that major victory, folks? Bearing in mind that I was taking my time with overstrengthening units, I was really prolonging things at the end. I think you can see from that last video I could have won it faster. You know how many turns short we were of a major victory? 1 turn. We were 1 turn short of getting a major victory. Yeah. So what I've done is basically decided to rewrite history yet again. What I'm doing is, what I played on camera, yeah, we're keeping that. Except that, I won a turn earlier than I did. Let's just say I won a turn earlier than I did. Because what I did is off-screen, I played through from, 3 turns. The last time I saved, other than the beginning of the turn where we won and got a minor victory, I went back to the previous save from there, played through again, nothing majorly different, nothing I think that's worth showing. I just, instead of encircling that city and overstrengthening a couple of units, I just moved into that last city 1 turn earlier and got a major victory. And that means that we got a different victory message to listen to. You've already heard the minor victory message. First off, let me show you what happens if you lose in France. So I'm not going to bother to go through and do a bunch of... I just off-camera set this up. Let's hear what happens when you lose in France. The music starts again for just a second, but...
Your failure to crush France has committed us to a protracted war. Already the RAF has successfully bombed Berlin. Your services are no longer needed.
So we get fired, basically. We don't get shot, at least. I always thought it sounded like he was loading a gun there, but they do not have the sound of you getting shot, so... That's nice. But yes, indeed. Had the Germans failed to take France at that point, they really would have turned the entire world against them, and been pretty much stuck. They needed the quick win they got in France to be the great movie villains of all time that we know them as today. And the game is really, really lagging here. And now less so. Ugh. I think when I go home over the holidays, I will get myself a new computer. New laptop. I already got a new desktop since I started LPing. But, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a new, You're noticing the UK major, UK minor? Yeah, I did a little... Yeah, I'll explain some of that later. I did some off-screening of Sealion, folks. To make sure that I could get a nice play... It's the same thing that happened, basically, with Weserübung, and I said I wasn't going to do it again, but I got into a situation where I could play the game, but I couldn't record, and I felt like playing the game. So I played through Sealion. I got a nice save state where we can choose whether we want a major or minor victory. Then I'm going to go on-screen it and see how well I do on-screening it. But I can on-screen it without freaking out that if I lose a unit that I really don't want to lose, it's lost forever because I have another playthrough where, things worked out better. But like what happened with Weserübung, yeah, I lost a Panzer unit. That would have really upset me. But I did manage to get the major victory, which I didn't think I would without lots of cheating and stuff. And on Sealion, when I played it off-screen, not a lot of cheating, not a ton of loading when things went wrong. A little bit of that, I'll admit, but... Not a lot of it. Mostly I just wanted to make sure that I had a save where I didn't lose any of my big core units. So in the last video, you heard what happens when we get a minor victory in France. You just heard what happens when we lose in France. Let's go ahead and get going with Operation Sealion, which you can, of course, only get to play if you have a major victory in Belgium and a major victory in France. So let's turn back the clock. Let's pretend I won 1 turn earlier than you saw in the LP, and we'll move ahead with Operation Sealion. Once again, the music false starts, and then this happens.
Congratulations on your outstanding victory in France. Our humiliation in 1918 is avenged. England lies open to invasion, ensuring total victory on the Western Front. The invasion is planned to occur on September 1st, but a debate at the highest level of government is in progress. Some believe that we should invade Spain in order to take Gibraltar and thus free the Italian Navy to assist us against the powerful British Navy. Others believe this to be unnecessary, and they are winning the argument. Your opinion could influence the outcome of this key decision. The assistance of the Italian fleet could be the difference in the upcoming invasion, but it may come at the cost of some of your prestige.
Do you wish to spend 1,000 prestige to secure Gibraltar and the help of the Italian Navy? There's a slightly different briefing, so let's go ahead and say yes, because I'm going to ultimately say no. We want to try to win this thing on our own. That's certainly how I did in my off-screening of this. But I want to be able to show you what happens when you have the Italian Navy helping you, how it changes things.
Gibraltar has been taken, and the Italian fleet has sailed toward England. Your mission is to take London and the industrial heart of England before our limited shipping and storms in the English Channel force us to withdraw our invasion. High Command has given you until September 30th to complete your mission, but we fear that you must succeed sooner or we will see the invasion falter before the British surrender. Operation Sealion is about to begin. Good luck.
And come on, movie, play. I want the people to see the flags and stuff. It's just a Stuka dive bomber in this video. It's not a particularly long one, but it really doesn't seem to be playing through with very much speed, does it? And I can't even show you using the cursor what it looks like. I did a recently recorded video for Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals. I tried to use the cursor to indicate something on screen and then realized only after the recording was done that I disabled it in Camp Studio. After many videos early in my LPing career where the cursor would show up when I didn't want it to, finally realized that you can disable it so it doesn't appear at all. But now it means that I can't use it when I want to use it for something like this. But basically, you see England? Yeah, there's German flags coming. There's a pair of German flags coming out of France and a pair of sort of diagonally northwest. There's some German flags heading sort of directly west. And then there's like an Italian flag that's floating around in the... I forget the name of the body of water that's west of France and north of Spain now. It's not the North Sea. The North Sea is between England and Norway. But it's in that area there. There's an Italian flag moving northeast into England. Maybe I'll just let this thing play. Now it's been playing for a while. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll let this one show, and then we won't wait around for the next movie because it's the exact same movie, and the only difference is in the little screen with the flags is that there's no Italian flag if you don't get the help of the Italians. The fact that you apparently invaded Spain, a fascist country that remained neutral in the war, never enters into anything except whether or not the Italian Navy is helping you in this battle. It makes no difference anywhere else. I think they just wanted to put in some interesting branching points. There will be a similar thing later on during the campaign against the Soviets. You have the option of spending prestige, but there you see. Isn't that exciting? Aren't you glad you waited around for that? And I described it wrong. The Germans weren't heading directly west. There's one heading directly north and one heading northwest. So, deploy your troops. Test your might. So we have to basically deploy our forces here. Let's just deploy 2 airplanes. This is a bit of cheating, but... Ooh. Let's not get into that yet, but we're going to deploy 2 airplanes, and then I'm not going to deploy anything else, because we're going to load game. But this is basically... Can you even fly far enough to see what's going on out here? Yeah. Turn this back down again. This is sort of kind of cheating, I suppose, but here's what we're looking at. There's the British Navy. directly south of England, on whatever the heck this piece of land is called. It has a name. I forget what it is. You've got like heavy cruiser, light cruiser, 2 destroyers, another light cruiser, a battle cruiser, a battleship. There might be something else over here, but I think that's pretty much it. That's the force. The Germans have over here, like, this is where there's my auxiliary units are in transports. My core units would be in here in transports too. And trying to defend them are a heavy cruiser, a battleship, destroyers, and torpedo boats. S-boats. These are freaking worthless. T-destroyer and S-boats. I don't even know what that means. There's a light cruiser and a couple submarines. So the British have them outmatched here. If you spend 1,000 prestige, you get the Italian fleet, which includes a light cruiser, a destroyer, a light cruiser, a destroyer, battleship, heavy cruiser. So the Italian Navy is not really a match for the British Navy here, but combined with the German Navy and any Air Force units you've got, you will win this battle pretty well. I mean, using the Italian Navy to attack them from down here, while your guys fight them over here, you'll wipe them out, and they will not have an opportunity to mess with your troops as they're trying to land. Also, this gives you the opportunity, if you want to land troops over here, well west of London, because you have to take Bristol and Birmingham to win. And if you can land troops over here, just drive straight for Bristol and Birmingham, you'll have a long, hard fight in London. But when you win in London, and of course you've got to get up here to Norwich, but when you win in London, you'll probably end up winning, because if you land any kind of number of troops here, the British defenses are all concentrated in here, obviously. Whereas if you send everything through London at first, they're going to get really delayed at London. You'll probably take London, but then you're going to have a real good chance of running out of time as you try desperately to get to Birmingham and Bristol in time, and they'll be reinforced, of course. So getting rid of these guys and being able to march up through here is a good way to go. You also want to try to land some guys up here to take out Norwich. I mean, other people might have different strategies, but I find it's best to not send everything straight to London. To have some guys coming up here, taking these cities, taking some prestige. You can always have, like, if you get guys up here and they go and take the city, they can then drive on London and attack it from the other side. Or you can land them up here and split the force, have some of them attack London, have some of them come up to Norwich. If you attack these cities like Norwich and Bristol early in the campaign, there's very little defense there when you start. But they'll get reinforced heavily if you wait until after you've taken London. So let's see what we have up here. The Italians now, and the other thing is, alright, the Italian Navy costs you 1,000 prestige. You've got these units here just for this battle. They're not going to hang around and help you in any future battles. By the time, if they finish these guys off and start steaming up here, by the time they get up here, you've either won or lost up here in a big way against the British Navy. So, I mean, in theory, you could spend 1,000 prestige, have the Italian Navy and the German Navy fight the British Navy while your entire bomber force is up here trying to deal with the guys up here. But up here again, let's see what we've got to deal with here. We've got battleship, heavy cruiser, destroyer, destroyer. Germans have heavy cruiser, battleship, S-boats, and destroyers, which are almost worthless, and a single submarine. So if you have the entire Luftwaffe up here, they can probably take care of these Navy guys, while the Italians and the German Navy, the Kriegsmarine, wipe out these guys. And you'll be able to win both naval battles pretty handily. But the fact of the matter is, that frees you up to deploy in different ways. But you almost don't have to worry about the naval battle too much if you just land everybody on the shore and start jamming straight towards London. And the toughest part of this fight is always going to be taking London. So whether you feel like spending 1,000 prestige on the Italian Navy or not, it's kind of your call. But we're going to do this without the help of the Italians. So let's go back and do it without the help of the Italians. Let me get my speaker up here so you can hear Ludwig von Nazi again. I love this guy.
Congratulations on your outstanding victory in France. Our humiliation in 1918 is avenged. England lies open to invasion, ensuring total victory on the Western Front. The invasion is planned to occur on September 1st, but a debate at the highest level of government is in progress. Some believe that we should invade Spain in order to take Gibraltar and thus free the Italian Navy to assist us against the powerful British Navy. Others believe this to be unnecessary, and they are winning the argument. Your opinion could influence the outcome of this key decision. The assistance of the Italian fleet could be the difference in the upcoming invasion, but it may come at the cost of some of your prestige.
I wish that we had the option of getting the help of the Italian Navy in the Sealion 43 campaign, which is your attempt to take out England after beating them in North Africa. The missions that are coming up after this. That, my friends and viewers, is a nasty, tough fight to win. Any help there would be really good, and that's why I'm going to throw it out to you guys in this video. I want you to start voting, letting me know: do you want to go for a major victory here, which will end the war in the West? We'll have a bunch of campaigning against the Soviets to do, but a big chunk of the game will be eliminated. We won't be fighting the English anymore if we win this battle. We won't be doing Rommel's desert campaigns in North Africa. We won't be fighting on the beaches of Normandy or anything like that. No, I wasn't planning to do that anyway, because once the Allies land on the mainland and you start fighting them there, that's it. You're never going to be able to win the war. The best you can do then is get an armistice. But if we want to eventually conquer Washington and essentially the world, we have to take out England and Moscow at some point. We have to take London and Moscow. And we got two chances to do London here, and we got one in 1943, which is really tough fight. But it would mean that we could see some interesting battles between now and then, getting some experience. It would make the LP a little longer, stretch things out a bit. So I'll let you guys, subscribe, or not subscribe, comment and message and whatever. Let me know whether you want us to take out England now, wipe them out quickly, and then the rest of the LP will be us fighting the Russians until the very last mission when we fight America. Either way, though, we are not going to get the help of the Italians here, and we are going to fight in England, because even if we can get a minor victory here, in which case the war with England continues. We just get more prestige, we get more experience for our units, and basically it's treated as though it didn't happen. But let's go ahead and say no, we're not going to get the help of the Italian Navy.
Your next mission is to invade England. You must seize London and all other objectives in England before our limited shipping and storms in the English Channel force us to withdraw the invasion forces. High Command has given you until September 30th to complete your mission, but we fear that you must succeed sooner or we will see the invasion falter before the British surrender. Operation Sealion is about to begin. Good luck.
Apparently the British are a bit gutsier than the French were in this game. And we are not sitting through this movie again, as it takes forever to load. I'm trying to click past it. The game is not cooperating with me here. Come on! What the heck? Skip it. I told you to skip it. There we go. Alright, so now we got to deploy our troops. First of all, we really want to take a look at what troops we got and who can we upgrade. It's a very expensive prospect. We could start upgrading our infantry to British engineers. I do not believe there is a Panzer upgrade worth getting at this time. There is not. Panzerjäger, the Jägermeister here is going to continue to be what he is now. Our bombers cannot be upgraded right now. Neither our tactical nor our suppression bombers. However, and the SIG B self-propelled, yeah, these guys are still going to have their major problem being that they're going to run out of ammo like immediately in every fight. We could switch them over to these guys, but they do less damage and they've got shorter range, so I don't like them. But this is the big thing that we can do, folks. The Focke-Wulf 190A fighter is available. Alright, so let's take a look at what we've got right now. Is the Messerschmitt 109 Emil. It's got 280. We got like 13 movement, 42 fuel. Let's switch over to another Messerschmitt, which has 14 movement, 72 fuel, so like twice as much fuel. That's nice, almost twice as much fuel. This bad boy here has got 14 movement, A little bit more movement. More than twice as much fuel. Almost 3 times as much fuel. So that the constant having to send fighters back to base, can't keep them up in the air for any length of time, that's over. These guys have an initiative of 5. These guys have a better initiative by 1. Not a huge difference, but a better initiative. 2 and 2 for soft and hard attack. 2 and 3. Air attack of 14. Air attack of 20. Ground defense 7. Air defense 10. Ground defense 8. Air defense 14. These things are better in every way, including significantly more fuel capacity. There's no reason not to do it. They're expensive as hell. This is going to eat up a ton of prestige. Matter of fact, if we hired the Italian Navy, we probably could not afford to upgrade all these units. But we definitely want them all to be Focke-Wulfs. And I will probably be using the FW-109A up until the point when, assuming we can afford them when they do arrive, the Messerschmitt 262 jet fighters become available. These will probably be our prop planes for the entire campaign. Watch that prestige disappear. But to me, it's worth it. Oh. Don't want to do anything particularly with you. So there we go, folks. We got 5 Focke-Wulf units now. 2 Junkers dive bombers and 3 Junkers suppression bombers. And then do we want to start upgrading these guys? Well, we don't really have any prestige left now, so let's leave them alone. But we will start by placing them. We got to place 7 infantry and 7 tanks. Remember that, because it'll make a difference to where I place them. Okay. Gonna be a long time in this video before we start fighting. I know, folks. I know, sweet America. I know. So I'm thinking like 2 infantry over here, 2 infantry here, and like that's 4, maybe 3 infantry in here somewhere. Oh, you know what? I want to get a bridging infantry here, because I'm going to eventually put them on this hex so that people can attack London from the other side. So let's replace you. And I'll try to get... These guys, it's going to take a few turns for anybody I put here to safely get over here and land, because, as you saw, the British Navy's here. So I'm going to want to like swing them past this little island, land them here. They can go through Bournemouth on their way to attack Bristol. Once they've got Bristol, they need to drive up towards Birmingham. So I need a pretty decent force here. Oh no, I screwed this up. I thought I was going to put the bridging engineers here. Okay, alright. Now it's Panzer time. Really solid Panzer unit for this force. Solid Panzer unit for this force. How many does that leave me with? 5 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I want at least... Oof. I might be understrengthening my group that's going to land in London if I do this, but I'm going to put 2 Panzers in each... No. 2 Panzers in each of these side flanking groups, too. Although you could probably... No, 2 Panzers. 1... 2, 1, 2. Did I mess this up here? Hold on. I think I messed up how I placed these guys a little bit. So I definitely want these guys to be able to get out and start fighting immediately and not be hanging around. Well, the Panzerjäger can definitely go there. You can definitely go there. But I might in fact want to put... So that's an infantry. That's a artillery. That's artillery. No, this is Panzer, infantry, infantry, artillery, Panzer, Panzer. So this Panzer, this Panzer. These guys have very little experience, though. I'm sending the unexperienced guys up here together in one. Though I don't remember having much difficulty with this part when I off-screened it, so I don't know. But I've got a reasonably inexperienced... Well, these guys are a 4-star, but I've got 2 good infantry units, so they're not overstrength, and 2 panzers here. Got a panzer unit that's going to land up here with artillery. Got a bunch of... I have infantry landing here. I'll have a panzer here, and more infantry here. Panzer and infantry. Panzerjäger and... artillery. Okay, this is probably alright. I just have to figure out where do I want one more artillery to go. And I might want them to come along with this group here. I might be overstrengthening the side groups. So I think I'm going to want... I've got 4 bombers... No, 3 suppression and 2 tactical and 5 fighters. Well, if I put... hold on. And I'm going to be able to buy 1 more fighter unit, which I think I will here. So let's put 3 fighters here. Let's put 2 fighters up north and then add 1 to that group. When I purchase 1, which I will place here, that means it's time to place... hold on a second. 2 bombers. No, 2 fighters. Oh, I accidentally placed a bomber here. Fighter. Now I can place 1 dive bomber there. 1 dive bomber here. Suppression. No. Really good suppression there with those guys. And 2 less good suppression guys here. Then we can save our game. And we can start buying new units, although we can buy only 1 core unit. Shit, I really can't afford to buy much more, can I? So let me get another F-Focke-Wulf going, because the battle against the RAF... yeah, you thought the battle against the Navy is going to be hard? The RAF is not going to go down without a fight here either. Because this is, potentially, if we get a major victory, England's last stand. They're not going to fuck around with this fight. At this point, we're at the half-hour mark, and I haven't even really started my... any fighting yet. We just had a half an hour's worth of deployment. Sorry, folks. So let's at least get our Air Force going, and then we'll call it the end of a turn then. So what do we want to do here? I'd like to actually find their navy without necessarily using my ah, shit, this isn't going that well. Okay. Now I can actually start bombing some of these guys. Hopefully not taking heavy losses, because I cannot really afford to send these bombers out without any kind of support. They are definitely going to need a fighter hanging on them, because they will get shot down. Oh, boo. Right out of the gate, one of my best bomber units takes a loss without even being attacked by enemy fighters. and barely did any oh, that really random number generator. It's like you don't want the Nazis to win. Oh well. The heavy cruiser is definitely a more important target than... Well, those are both heavy cruisers. Anyway. It's a little bit better. You cannot go anywhere, sadly. You are expected to maybe shoot down one of these guys, but it's actually a pretty big risk, because they will definitely have some ability to shoot you down. Good, it didn't actually succeed in shooting you down. That would have pissed me off. You didn't sink any of them. That annoys me, but is not unexpected. This is supposed to go a little bit more our way. We'll see what actually happens. There we go. Not bad at all. Now I can start having my naval comparatively big guns get in here into position to attack. It's more important that we eliminate the greatest number of them instead of getting rid of complete units, because the Navy units cannot reinforce. You want to eliminate weakened units as efficiently as possible when you're fighting on the ground, because those weakened units will reinforce and continue to be a problem. Navy units, you just want to get rid of as much firepower as fast as you can. That sucks, but is not really a surprise. The sea destroyers are not really going to be worth anything to me. Any damage they can do is, yeah, like I was supposed to inflict more damage than I took. I didn't, but really, as long as they're out there, I want to make sure they're killing somebody. Now, get rid of some of their heavy cruisers that have been suppressed. Again, not as successful as it was supposed to be, according to the numbers. The tail of the tape suggested that they would do better than that, and they didn't. But oh well. Is there something on my screen? Okay, something on my monitor that's not showing up in your recording. Oh, well, there goes those units. They are screwed. That was not expected to happen. And now I'm throwing my submarines in there pretty willy-nilly, instead of holding off when they can kind of sneak in or whatnot. But heavy cruiser. That sounds like a good target for a dive bomber, or not a dive bomber, but a suppression bomber. Beautiful. I haven't found a good target for these other suppression bombers yet, though. Let's try and get rid of those guys as efficiently as we can. We may have to wait for the rest of the British Navy to show themselves before we can get rid of them. Oh, it's like, damn it, I know there's guys here that I could be shooting at, but I probably cannot get in range to attack anybody here. Yeah. Well, maybe if these guys were out of the way, but they're not, so... I'll just have to put some fighters between them. Please don't shoot these guys down. That would be... there we go. Thank you for cooperating with me, Royal Navy. there's more Navy guys that are more important to destroy, but we can't see them. So when they come out and start attacking us, reveal themselves, then we'll take care of them. There we go. That was nice. That was nice indeed. There, see, these are the guys we should have been attacking, but we couldn't see them, so fuck it. Let's just get a good view of what's happening. What's your range, buddy? 2. Thank goodness. I thought I'd just flown right into it. There will be a lot of anti-aircraft cannons in this one, folks. A lot of anti-aircraft. It seems pretty unlikely anyone can get down here and mess with him. So it's tempting to put a second escort on this guy, but I'll bring him down here. And if he gets attacked twice and this guy's not able to defend him the second time, then, we'll just know that you can't always make perfect decisions in this game. In fact, in my case, you can pretty much never make perfect decisions. These guys are going to come up here and they will start attacking these transports if I want to get landed quickly, but if I go too far forward, they will get attacked. And you guys, I want to get over here as fast as possible. Can you attack anyone from there? No, so let's have you... They've got entrenchment 3, they've got entrenchment of 8, and I pretty much probably need to take them out. So let's just show you and reduce your entrenchment level by 1, and then we'll move along. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to defeat the British Navy with the help of the Luftwaffe, but clearly it would have been nice if I could rely on the Italian Navy to fight the British Navy and have the Luftwaffe go straight to work on the British Army. But pretty much going to have to hold the Luftwaffe in reserve until after they've had a chance to deal with the Brits in boats. Now, is that it for my Air Force? Not really, because now I'm just now remembering that there are these guys. They probably can't get over here far enough to make a difference yet. But I do have some unescorted bombers who are just like kind of on the side there, hanging around here in Le Havre and its surrounding environs, who could sort of come up here and try to help out on future turns. I'm not going to have them attack anybody in the British side because I don't want the RAF to know where they are and attack them while they're still unescorted. But they should make taking the British Navy out a little bit faster. I've now moved everybody in the air except for these parachute troops. Oh man, I'm not sure what to do with them at first. I think last time when I off-cameraed it, I kind of snuck them around up here. I managed to evade detection and landed them near Birmingham, but they're like, takes a lot of frickin' you have to be pretty lucky to get them anywhere behind enemy lines safely, and then there's a whole lot of saving and loading again if you want them to actually attack anyone once they land, because they tend to get wiped out. But I could throw them over here for now and have them help out wherever seems appropriate. The other thing I could have them do is just hang around and drop in behind London and start harassing guys. Maybe I'll have 2 of them over there to help, and 2 of them can kind of fly up here and help. Either way, I don't want them to move too far away from fighter support, because even if they end up getting totally wiped out by the RAF, at least, last time I kept them all together, this time I'm going to break them up. But even if they get wiped out, then at least I'll be able to say, hey, those guys, the RAF came and shot them down, but it drew out the RAF fighters, and now my new force of Faka Wolves can pounce on the RAF and take them out. and they will have served some purpose in their horrible grisly death. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for this turn. When we come back, we are going to actually start using our ground forces and complete the first turn. Sorry this is such a long video. There's a lot of stuff we had to show you. And remember, I do want people's feedback. Chime in, comment if you haven't done so already. I may post some video just asking for people's votes, but chime in with your opinion on whether we want to take England out now, if we even can, or if we want to just hold off and get a minor victory here so we can get some prestige and stuff, but then ultimately we'll have a chance to fight them again in North Africa, if that's what you'd rather see than the campaign against the Soviets. Pretty much limited to seeing one or the other. You can hop back and forth between them to a certain limited extent. Either way, this is Mysterious JG. Thank you very much for watching. When we come back, folks, all you British LP fans out there, don't take it personally, but I'm coming to get you. Bye-bye.